And I'm really happy that Johannes is here, because for me, I've been sort of dreaming about the Club of Budapest and joining the Club of Budapest for about 3 years. And now the Club of Budapest is here. Can I have an applause for Johannes? Yeah, 50 minutes, you can do.
All right. I'm happy to be here. I'm just shortly introduce myself. I'm the General Secretary of the Club of Budapest International, which is an organization which has not been very much in the public because most of our activities have been with, yes, let's say, deciders in economy or in politics. But now we want to address more the grassroots movement, the youth of the world, and so we shift our actions in a way. Erwin Laszlo, his name is known to some of you. He founded the Club of Budapest out of the Club of Rome, where he was part of the co-founders. And his vision was not only to tell the world about the limits to growth in economy or political affairs, but also in cultural and consciousness-wise. So our mission is concentrated about the shift of global consciousness, and we use any aspect of means to support the creation of a new civilization. This sounds like a very, very, very big word, but it starts with you and you and you and you and myself. So what can we do on a personal way just to support the way to a better world? We are rather convinced that it won't be a better world to all of humankind, but to some at least, and we are not sure whether all of humankind will survive the collapse that's just going on now, but we do our best to help as many as possible to reach the state of a new civilization. Speaking of consciousness, I just want to do a small exercise with you, if you allow. Are you ready to? Just some minutes. Short thing, nothing dangerous. Would you please just stand up for a moment and listen? Just close your eyes for a moment and listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying the word, my inner space. What do you feel? What do you see when you hear, and you really just hear, my personal inner space? How wide is it? How broad, how deep, how high? Just give it a minute. That's it. Thank you very much. We could extend it, but I just want to ask, what form does this inner space have? Yeah?
It feels free.
Free? Any idea of a form?
No.
No form? No form? Shape? The shape? Round? 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 How wide is it?
More or less than the body, but bigger.
Bigger than the body? Bigger than the body?
No, it stayed inside.
Inside?
Yeah, it was
Oval?
I tried to extend, but it stayed within.
All right.
Mistake.
Did anyone see his or her lungs? Or stomach? The bones? The blood? The inside of your limbs and so on? It takes some imagination, you know? So most of all, you can sit down again, thanks very much. I think this is very important. Most of us have no precise image of the inner side of the body. But we think of us more or less as spheres, as some entity bigger than our body or smaller than our body. almost nobody, I did this exercise with thousands of people since years, almost nobody could express himself or herself in the boundaries of the skin. So what does this mean? Obviously, we are living in a different world, mentally, than in the physical world. This is nothing esoteric or so, it's just an observation that something creates a world within us which is of a very, very different kind of that world we are physically living in. So, and obviously we all share this non-physical world. And modern science comes about and says, well, it must be a field. And this field has no material substrate. It's not bound to any material objects. But if we take this seriously, and just imagine your inner space is larger and bigger than your body, maybe as big as 4 or 5 meters. And around us all these fields are just like bubbles. So we sit in each other. We share the same space. And field-wise, we really do it. So how does this change your behavior? Do you understand what I want to express? So if we take this serious, if we take these findings, there are many, many scientific findings that really can change our worldview. And if we take this serious, everything will change. The way we behave, the way we look at ourselves, we look at our relationships, we look at our, let's say, relationship to nature, because of course, trees, plants, animals, they all have fields around themselves. They are not what they appear. So it sounds like, let's say, a religious teaching. Maybe you adopt to religious teachings. No problem. It's the truth. So, looking for a new civilization, we have to somehow connect to all these new images, these new metaphors, and change them and reframe them in our brain. And that is something we want to do very seriously and help people understand these new ways of thinking and living. For instance, one last example. Do you know what this year on 21st or 20th of August will be? No? That is the World Overshoot Day. What is the World Overshoot Day? Have you ever heard of the global footprint? Ecological footprint? Yeah, the water footprint and so on. So on about 20th of August this year, humankind will have used all renewable resources of the planet Earth to 100%. So, let's say, the ability of the planet to produce fibers for textiles or proteins to feed us or clean the air or the self-cleaning ability of the waters and so on and so on. These resources are just exhausted on the 20th of August. So, until the 31st of December, we live on credit. It's the overuse of resources humankind as a whole is implying on Earth. What does this mean in numbers? It means that we have one planet here. This is 100%. I like to paint it on a paper, but I don't have a paper. So just imagine this is planet Earth, and it's written 100%. This is fulfilled on 20th of August. Now imagine a second Earth, as big as the one to that side. There's a big number on it, 50%. So half of this planet 2 is used from 20th of August till the end of the year. What does this do with you? Is this just an information? You know, I've read of it. You know, the studies where they say in 2030, the amount of Earths we need is 2. What does this do with you? So, just information, or do you say, well, I'm working on it, but I don't know how successful I'll be. Even if you could reduce everything now, from today, this process will not come to a stop. It's impossible to hold that, or even to reverse it. It will take years, decades, just to repair all the loss which has been occurring through the last decades. So, addressing these problems will take more than only, let's say, some political methods. It will take a complete shift in our way we look at ourselves and at the world. This is a world shift which is needed. So in order to support this world shift, we try to now form 2 things. First of all, we try to support the existence of a university where all these things can be learned, and it will be a global, international university based on internet, but with cooperations of real physical universities. It's the Giordano Bruno Global Shift University, which will be launched in September and starts the studies and the courses from January next year. And the second is we want to bring about some kind of network which helps all the different NGOs and initiatives worldwide to combine on a horizontal level. Because, you know, if you look at how a fabric is made, you have on this machine, the weaving, how do you call it? Webstuhl. Just missing the word. Loom. Good. You have these threads running down, and you need a thread running across it. To combine these threads to a fabric, to something which really can carry. And in order to do this, you need some institutions on the world that are about to act like the Weaver's Shuttle. So we want to be the Weaver's Shuttle, one of those few institutions who do this, and I think this is something especially young people can join in, and maybe this is our contribution in order to create that, what I called, creating a new civilization. I think that's, for the moment, enough. Good. Thanks.
Thank you, Johannes. We are very honored to have you here, to have somebody from the Club of Budapest here.